a great place. What a great way to hold up for the Easter break. That was absolutely bloody sensational. Until yesterday. And they forecast some rain, and we got rain. We got thunderstorms. Man, the place is wet at the moment. Liz is just in fixing up fuel. We've just driven into Horsham to top up. Ready for our trip through to Mildura. Here she is.
What?
Just emptied your purse a little bit.
Who are you talking to?
The camera. So yeah, so there you go. So we're going to head up to Mildura now. We've topped up with fuel. But as I said, Liz, the Grampians, not a bad place to hold up for a few days, eh?
Oh, they were pretty good.
Was.
Yes, most definitely.
Well, we've had a quick stop here at Brim, and the silo art, that's just amazing.
It's incredible, the detail.
Yeah, this guy's captured not so much the paint, the silos, but the people that were and are in the area, and depict them in paintings on these silos. That is awesome.
It's pretty amazing.
The giant artwork is based on local people. Grudo van Hilton, the painter, wanted to capture the essence of the local farming community, depicting farmers as you would see them any day of the week. With 3 men and 1 lady, and different generations, these locals have lived and farmed around Brim their whole life. It is not about who they are, it's more about the art and what they represent. It's true what they say, travelling and exploring opens up your mind. A heartfelt chat while travelling can be such a grounding experience, especially with the freedom and sense of the possibility the road and new places bring. There's something about being on a journey, sharing hopes, memories and reflections that often opens up space for deeper conversations. With the road stretching ahead, winding through landscapes we are just starting to discover. In those quiet moments, conversation seems to flow easily, like the movement of the car itself. We talk about where we're heading, not just on the road, but in life. Dreams, memories, fears, and hopes all tumble out with the comfort of knowing we are both going somewhere together. The Big 4 Caravan Park in Mildura is home for the next few days. We had some chores to get done. The cruiser was a bit overdue for its service. ARB Mildura squeezed us in so they could check that rear wheel carrier for me, and we needed to restock with groceries etc. for a few days off grid at the Mungo National Park. This was a great park, friendly people and well located close to a shopping centre and supermarkets. The plan for the next week or so was to travel the length of the Darling River south to north. So where better to start the journey than where the Darling and the mighty Murray rivers join, at the town of Wentworth, in the far southwest of the state of New South Wales.
This is where the Murray and the Darling meet. It's called the confluence of the river.
A unique floating community developed along the river as the paddle steamers moved up and down the Murray-Darling's waters. Residents eagerly awaited the arrival of the steamers, bringing news, household goods, medical supplies and staff to isolated homesteads and camps along the river banks. Paddle steamer Platypus operated in the 1880s, included among its crew a team of women and their sewing machines who took orders at posts along the river before delivering the completed products on the return trip. Throughout the history of European settlement, the Murray-Darling has been the subject of fierce debate over water usage and subsequent environmental damage. However, life along its riverbanks, as Australia pivoted on federation, created a unique waterside community whose legacy encompasses economic development and questions of national identity. The Murray-Darling River system extends through much of southeast Australia, and its winding channels run across parts of New South Wales, Queensland, South Australia, Victoria and the Australian Capital Territory. Up and see the other side of the thing. We headed down to have a look at one of the locks, which are used to allow vessels to move between the different levels of the river by raising or lowering the water level in the lock to the same as the direction that the vessel is travelling. Well, look at them cheeky pelicans. They're sitting there waiting for an easy feed. Yep, oh, he's got one, he's dropped it. Now they've dropped it, fighting over it. There was also the flood levels. Wow, this is hard to imagine the river at these heights. Expectations were high as we head to Mengo National Park. However, as you can see in the distance, some weather was forming, and listening to the chatter with the trucks in the area, there are some real concerns about the coming days and the possibility of rain. Our check of the weather revealed some light passing showers, they said. Just a bit of air out, a little bit tired. No, thanks for stopping. We were spoilt for choice at the campground, and given we were staying here for a few days, a couple of circles later we found a spot to call home. Great spot with a fire pit, table with a cover and access to water. Well, this has been an interesting 24 hours. We got all set up here at the Mungo main campground and it started to rain. We've had showers on and off all through the night, and then there was a bit of a break. We sort of expected to get a little bit, but this morning around about 7 o'clock it started raining, and it's rained and rained and rained. The ranger was round about 2 hours ago and has informed us that the two roads that we could potentially take have both been closed. They've closed the top hut road from here, and the council has closed the road to Mildura as well. And I think we showed a bit of footage on the way up. That was quite wet in places and quite slippery, so that's going to be an issue. Apart from doing a very large detour, we're going to bunker down and hang it out. So we're booked in till Sunday night, leaving on Monday. Today's Saturday. The rangers sort of said that if the rain stops, a bit of wind and the sun comes out, the ground does recover quite quickly. So we'll have to wait and see. So we could end up being here for another night, but yeah, it's well, it's not the first time it happened. We got stuck at the start of the Plenty Highway once, coming back from a trip where we had to end up staying an extra day, waiting for the road to open. So that's okay. We've got plenty to do, and if the sun comes out, it'll make things a little bit more pleasant as well. This is what happens when you go backwards and forwards to the fridge when it's been raining in this sort of soil. Well, I know this series is not called Chasing Sunsets, but oh my God, have a look at this. As the sun rises, casting a gentle glow over the glistening rain-soaked landscape, the world feels fresh and alive. Raindrops cling to leaves, sparkling like little jewels, while birds chirp cheerfully, their songs mingling with the soft breeze. Wrapped in each other's warmth, they savour the quiet intimacy of the morning. Everything feels calm, perfect, and full of promise.
Good morning. I'm at the Mungo National Park. Today we started off, we were going to do a lunette cultural tour, and we arrived here about 8:30, and the tour was supposed to start at 9 o'clock. No one arrived, So we've run the New South Wales National Parks and they said we should have received a text because the tour's been cancelled. So that's kind of done our day a little bit, made it a bit more interesting. We are at the wool shed. So this is a very old wool shed and I will show you a bit more about it.
So let's go and have a look inside. Well, there's something about the smell of a shearing shed. Smell of lanolin. Yum. Oh, doesn't matter where you go in the country and you go to a shearing shed or a wool store, you get that lovely aroma of lanolin. Formerly, it was the historic Golgol station and brought mega flocks of sheep to the region. This heritage Mungo wool shed, built in 1869, harks back to the pastoral history of this dramatic yet fragile landscape. You can only marvel at the ingenious drop log construction made from local cypress pine. Its wooden pens, worn smooth by years of sheep passing through, it echoes with the ghosts of the past. Shearers laughing, clippers humming, the bleating of sheep. At its peak, this shed was a hive of activity, with 18 men hand shearing over 50,000 sheep. Ironically, the erosion caused by the sheep, rabbits and tree felling reduced the capacity for farming and revealed the long-held secrets of the ancient lake bed.
What you see before me is the ground storage tank, which has been salvaged, and they've put a roof over it to stop wandering stock getting caught in it.
So do you know why they've dug it in the ground, Liz?
No, I didn't read that bit.
Well, when this wool shed was built, they didn't have galvanised tanks. So the only way that they could store water was in wells. So they dug these things out. They had to cover them up to stop, as you said, animals and stuff from getting in them. But that was their water storage. Currently there are 3 Aboriginal tribal groups that care for the Mungo country. This meeting place has been created as a special location where they can gather as a community. Here we are on a dried riverbed or lake at the Mungo National Park. Now, of all things, we're looking for bits and pieces around the place, and I come across this. What an artefact. I don't know whether you'll know what this is or not, of all the things that you find when you go out on these walks. Not quite what I expected. Maybe we'll find something that's a little bit older. What did you find, Liz? A bit more of the guitar.
Like the footprints.
Now you're taking the right?
Yeah, of course I am. Oh, look.
It's all about footprints out here, isn't it?
It is. And this is how they made after it was wet.
And then the dust blew over the top of it.
That's right, and sealed it.
And sealed it up. Mungo Self-Guided Drive Tour, also known as the Mungo Loop Track, is a brilliant introduction to the awe-inspiring desert landscapes and the chance to experience the historic significance of Mungo National Park in comfort. Crossing the ancient lake bed to the walls of China, the route takes in the iconic dunes and mallee country of outback New South Wales before tracing the northeast shores of the lake. Park staff had closed this road but opened it late on our last day, fortunately. Well guys, how lucky are we? We've just managed to be the first vehicles through after they closed this road. Well, sorry, they reopened it. It's been closed for 3 days. We just went up to the rangers station, and yeah, they're just coming to reopen it. So we followed the girl down, and she's given us access. So this is the first lookout that you come to, or the first piece of land with some significance, and it's called the Red Top Lookout. And this is just ancient. is want of a better word. Well, Lake Mungo is just one of 13 dry lake beds that are in this area, in the Willandra area. Yeah, this will be where they were using to load the goats into the truck after they've trapped them. So, as the sign says, you know, initially goats were one of the first things that they were using, the early settlers were using for milk and meat, and now they've become a feral pest out here, absolutely. So they've got this little man-made trap that they use, and they use water as the bait. So they'll come in from the back country into the water, they come through and they can't get out, and this obviously is how they ramp them into the trucks. But looking at this, it hasn't been used for a long time. As they say in the outback, water attracts life. And this is a soak that was used by the Aborigines and early European settlers. Used it as a stop-off point so they could water horses. Back in the early days. It says here that the well was dug in 1930 by Roy Vigor and is subsequently lined to prevent collapse. Bloody hard life. Carrying, well, it was a sheep station before it became a national park, and wool going out and supplies coming in.
And this actually didn't impact this area too much, but what it did do was create the mountain range we have in the east called the Great Divide. From lots of these mountains being created, we also
these people here as part of a sunset guided tour that allows access to a restricted part of the park. But we were here for other reasons. Here we go, the perfect way to end a magical day. So all that the Mungo Lakes have dished up to us, it's certainly turning it on tonight. So we've come down to the Wall of China and we're going to take some photos and watch the sunset and have a wee glass of a drimmet. And it's pretty spectacular, Liz, isn't it?
It is amazing out here. You can see the sun behind me, which is about to set, and out that way is the Wall of China.
And we'll get some, we'll drop some pics on that we've taken of tonight. Hopefully they come out. Oh my God, it'd be terrible if they don't. It'll be like, you'll just see blank squares on the screen, but I'm pretty sure that Liz will nail a couple at least. All right, another wonderful day, New South Wales National Parks. You guys do a pretty good job. Pretty impressed. All right, after this, back for pizza. Yep, Monday night pizzas. The fire's set, ready to go, and then we'll move off to Menindee Lakes tomorrow. So we're really looking forward to that. How long we stay there will depend on when we get sick of it. at this point in time, and of course whether the roads are open further north and which way we can access to get out of there when the time comes. All right guys, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. Cheers, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Now, John said we're having pizza tonight, and here it is. Can't really see that very well, but let me tell you, that's my pepperoni pizza, and this other one's his chicken pizza, so we'll see what they look like later.